Enjoy this episode of Low Moon Palace Paiges.
All right, this is Palace Paiges, starting a half an hour late due to food issues and also a witnessing opportunity. And this is our devotional as soon as I get to the right page. It's a shorty but a goodie.
Hey!
So, Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran at the command of the Lord, all the men who were heads of the sons of Israel. So this is the story, this is part of the story, one verse of the story, where Moses sends the spies to spy out the land. All in all, top men were chosen to do the scouting, and also for the great honor of being the first to enter the promised land. Their names were recorded here, and they would never be forgotten. That's pretty cool, and would be even more so if they had all responded in faith. Rather than urging the people to go forward and conquer as God had ordained, they will fall into the trap of leading in a dubious direction. They surely felt they had their reasons and were probably looking for a blessing that didn't seem so precarious. Caution is not inherently bad. It can even be a very good thing at times. We need not protect ourselves from God or God's plan. We can and maybe should proceed with caution when our sinful nature may interfere with His plans or when others may have an inroad to hurt us or God's plan. Ultimately, trusting God is most important. If God elevates us to leadership, then part of that responsibility is to lead people to trust God. And that's it. No, it's fine. I'm sure. Okay. Okay, whence last we broke in Palace Paiges, Dan and Selena were making their way across the countryside from the somewhat secret exit that the guild let you onto and encouraged you to, across the countryside, taking a slightly more direct route than following the roads, which in one case paid off, and that apparently there were some brigands or something, mounted bad guys anyway, that were on horseback, and they were looking for someone that they had seen in the countryside and definitely would have had to deal with them, but because you were somewhat off the road when they came, you were able easily to hide, and now they're gone. Okay. Now you know they're still in the area, so any really loud noises or major disturbances could definitely attract them to come back and try to find you. Okay. To that end, while you were crouching down on the sloped hill that leads to the flat surface of the road, and then below you was a ditch that had some cottontails in it and some water at the bottom. Okay, so it's like a drainage ditch that keeps the water away from the road. And while you were crouched down there, Selena noticed that there was a faint glow slipping free from the satchel that she was carrying the egg in, wrapped in a piece of silk cloth. And when last we broke, you had flipped the lid open to look inside and see, perhaps considering the egg may have come uncovered or something more. But what you see is a crack has developed along the outside edge of the egg. It is just where the egg really begins to get wide, so kind of around this circumference.
How wide or how long?
So are you going to reach in and kind of turn it over to see if the crack extends to the bottom? It does go all the way around the part that you can see.
Remember, you can't touch it.
I'm going to use the cloth to move it carefully.
So you can see two things. So one, there is a faint glow already that was coming from the egg previously when it was in the box when you first got it. It had kind of faint purplish glow. Well, the crack has its own light, and the light is mottled orange and yellow. And so it's about 2/3 orange and 1/3 yellow. And it is jagged, not perfectly smooth, the crack is. And when you turn it over the cloth, you can see that it extends all but maybe half an inch. So the crack goes all the way around the egg, or maybe half an inch. And as you're looking at it, or you're looking in the pouch, you can tell that there is something inside the egg that is struggling to escape.
Should probably hurry up and get this inside.
How far are we now?
So still at least probably half an hour.
Should probably run.
No, we need to go.
You're in no care of taking care of whatever that's there.
Especially because this satchel has run without going down. If it does manage to hatch, we have to find a way to completely seal the satchel without suffocating it, of course. So we need to...
Let's go.
Okay. So one thing that does occur to you, knowing a little bit about animals by this point in time in your training and all that kind of thing, is that it's pretty unlikely to be able to contain the creature in a satchel unless it's cooperating without causing it harm or without it escaping. So you would probably need a cage, or at the very least a crate with holes or some slats missing, that kind of thing, or otherwise you're not going to be able to contain it. If it's not cooperative. It may be cooperative.
I don't have my board.
Sleep as soon as it wakes up.
No, it's still there. It's still there.
Dang it, because then I just put my board in the satchel because my board will cooperate with me, but Dad probably won't.
Yeah, so the bird is at the house, at the retreat.
You should probably bird now.
Which you're probably anxious to get back to him.
Let's go.
Okay, so the
We'll
plan...
deal with the problem when we get there.
Alright, so the plan is to move fairly quickly back toward the retreat. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you are crossing the fields and occasionally crossing the road, you see that there's very little going on out here on the countryside. Although in the distance, straight along the road and just off the road, maybe a half mile or so, you do see a barn. It is lit. There's light coming in from inside it. And occasionally you see a silhouette of a person walking around in the light. So you realize that there's a farmer or someone up and he's up late working. It is...
Good fun.
It is the middle of the night now, like between 1 and 2 a.m. So that's a little peculiar, but I mean, they do it. They got something they have to do or something. Anybody could do it. You do have to generally pass that area, but by the time you pass that area, you'll be pretty far away because you'll be on the other side of the road because your trip is diagonal. So you cross a cornfield. You cross what might be rows of wheat, you think. They're about knee-high, thin, kind of look like weeds a little bit. They're kind of greenish in color. Obviously you're trying not to leave huge disturbances in the crops. So you kind of go down the row a ways, and then you cut over to another row, and down the row, and cut over, and like that, instead of just running across the crops and busting it up. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So your armor is probably the primary thing that's slowing the two of you from really making good speed. It's tiring you out, and it's not super flexible and kind of bulky. It's good for protection, not so great for running in the countryside. And you guys can only run for so far. Neither one of you has running as a proficiency, so you can only run for so far, and then you have to stop and walk. All right. So it's been about 10 minutes or so since you were on. What?
Brown bag that I could put my armor in.
Debatable it would be any better. It's probably better on you.
Maybe.
Because in the bag it's going to be sloppy all over the place.
In case I also have to fight. There's no idea what's on here.
Yeah, you're not really expecting much trouble. These are civilized lands patrolled during the day. The brigands were probably the greatest threat, and you're kind of getting out of that area now, so you're kind of thinking. You do see some bats that swoop around. They do not come down to plague you or, get really near you. But they're definitely eating a lot of insects. And you hear a ton of insects. And you see occasionally a small animal, a rabbit, squirrel, not a squirrel, sorry, a rabbit, groundhog, maybe, that kind of thing. And mostly you just see them as like eyes in the distance or a little shadow moving along in the rows of crops. Okay? Anyway, so about 10 minutes or so after that, you've run for the better part of the 10 minutes and you're catching your breath. You're not exhausted by any means. You just have to catch your breath to get back to be able to run at a good speed. And the truth is, you're not as tired as he is because he's carrying the armor and it's bulky.
I wonder what happened if I didn't took off the smoke.
You exit the corn, and as you exit the corn, you see there is a barn there, and your plan was just to kind of skirt around it or whatever. And it's dark, and then just as you come out of the corn, you catch a flash of movement near the barn, and you hear loud barking and growling of a dog. And you realize that the farm must use a guard dog or something like that, and you've now run afoul of it.
Okay.
Oh,
now, obviously not necessarily desiring to kill somebody's dog, but It's up to you, and here he comes.
Oh.
So he comes out from the shadows of the barn, and he's coming pretty quickly. So both of you roll for surprise, first of all, before you do
I've
anything
got
else.
rope. We could get the rope around his neck and bring him back and knock on the door.
Your dog tried to kill her.
This dog tried to kill us. You're welcome we didn't kill him. We gotta go.
I don't know 4. I'm not surprised.
Okay, so what do you think?
5.
Okay, so neither of you are surprised as the creature leaps up. It's a good-sized dog. It's a little less than waist high. It's pretty furry. It's snarling and growling. It does not seem friendly. Okay? So first thing first, you're going to roll initiative.
Okay. That's 5. 6.
Boy.
You're fairly certain that with your armor and the two of your general fatigue level, that you're not going to be able to outrun it, like just to run away from it. There's a possibility if you ran back into the cornfield that it might not follow you, but if this is his farm, it probably would. Okay? All right.
I'm getting out the rope. Dan, I'm gonna say it. Dan, if we can get some of my rope around his neck and get it tangled, we might be able to just bring it back to the owner without having to hold it.
Okay, so the dog comes up to within about 5 feet away, and he's like crouching down. His upper body is low, and his teeth are flashing. You can see the meat of his gums. He's growling and occasionally barking. He does not immediately attack. He could, but he's mostly trying to chase you off, you think. He's gray and he catches a hint of off-white. And he's long strands of fur.
I'm gonna...
Like a sheepdog kind of thing.
I'm gonna do this, like, and I'm gonna slowly back up. If the dog comes forward anymore, then I'm not gonna...
I mean, you feel reasonably confident that you can keep your shield between you and him, like if he came. She does not have that advantage.
I have my staff ready, though.
Yeah, but a staff, like you can prod at him or smack him, but a shield is a wall. It's a small wall.
Yeah.
So.
I wait from behind me and then I slowly start backing up, and if it moves forward, then I ain't gonna back up anymore.
Okay. So he starts backing up. At first it's not. It kind of like bounces forward and then bounces back and bounces forward and bounces back.
I'm gonna slowly go back, just calmly with him, just super calm, put my body calm.
Letting him stay in front of you, though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Roll a percentile dice.
Okay. I'm walking backwards. I don't even have my dice.
Wait,
what am I doing?
Yeah, let him dance.
Sucking off, apparently.
Look at that. I just had it. I think that. I'm gonna just get out these dice because these dice are better. I'm missing dice. There's one dice. 63.
Okay.
The money's.
Yeah, so he does not calm down. He's definitely edging forward enough to keep you at like the same distance.
Alright.
So you take a step back, he's about a half step forward. You take another step back, he's about a step and a half forward. So he's keeping you basically at the same distance, but he does seem to be like trying to herd you or push you back toward the corn. But at that moment, you see coming around from the house a single human with a torch burning and 2 other dogs. And as it comes around the corner of the house, the dogs run, and they're coming to catch up. Both of those 2 dogs are smaller, and the one is more like a wiener dog. He's like a long, thick body and a rounded butt. But they're both barking pretty harshly as they come and come to join their companion, and they spread out and kind of form like a ring. So the wiener dog is out to the left, and then the other dog that's like this one but smaller is out to the right. And then there's a human running. Within a minute or so, he'll be here. So you really only have to delay for a minute, and the dogs are not attacking you, and you might be able to parlay.
Let's still slowly back up.
Okay, so you're at the point where if you back up anymore, you'll be into the corn.
What happens if we get in the corn?
I mean, just there'll be corn.
I feel like the dog might be most protective of that, don't you think?
Seems like right now they're more protecting the house and the farmyard. Up toward the house, you can also see that there's a relatively good-sized chicken coop. Probably like 8 by 10 by 10. And the chickens start to file out into the yard, probably disturbed by the barking of the dogs.
We mean no harm.
Okay. So the guy with the torch comes running up. You see that he does have a crossbow, a light crossbow, but he's not pointing it yet. He has the torch in his left hand, he has the light crossbow in his right hand. And it's challenging, if not impossible, to fire a crossbow one-handed accurately. And so it's just kind of like carrying out like a shotgun, really, but it is loaded. Okay? And then he holds the torch up. What you see before you is probably a farmer. He's in relaxed clothes, light, very loose-fitting, light material. He's probably in his late 30s, early 40s, rounded face, kind of stubby, squarish nose, short curly hair, and it's kind of olive-skinned in color. And he says, calm down, everybody calm down. And you realize he's yelling at the dogs, and the wiener dog backs off and starts barking, and then he paces around behind the other dogs. And then the guy, calm down.
We deeply apologize for any inconvenience. We're on our way back to the retreat. We're with the princess.
Okay. He says, I'm sorry the dogs scared you.
It's fine.
He looks closely at him. He says, you should be fine to cross my property. Though, as I understand the Lomunian law, it is, you are supposed to request. So...
We're on an urgent mission, kind of.
Did you come through my corn?
Yes, we've not stepped on any.
We went through the aisles to be very careful of not pushing anything through. We have something we must return to the princess and can be very dangerous if there is too long of notice.
Ah, I see. Messengers for the princess. Well, the royal family does have a way of skirting the law a little bit. I see that. Come with me to the house for a moment. I will give you a note to take to her. Come. Calm down. The smaller dog now calms down and comes over by him, and the two of them are kind of circling him, and the big dog is just growling but not biting anymore. Or not chomping anymore or barking. Okay. And he turns and heads toward the house, and then as he's heading toward the house, the two dogs are with him, the ones that came out, and then he says, Casey! Come, Casey! And then the dog looks like almost like he got smacked on the head as his name is called, and he goes, like, shakes his head a little bit, and then he trots along behind him, and his head's kind of low, and his shoulders are high, and his tail's between his legs as he goes off after the farmer. Is that the wiener dog? No, that's the one that was first barking at you. The wiener dog and the other one already went.
Why?
Not sure. Apparently because he used his name, that stopped him in his tracks.
That's not a good sign.
Okay. Anyway, the three dogs and the man go to the back of the house. He looks over his shoulder several times to make sure you're following. Are you following? Okay. Alright, roll a d20 for me if you would.
19.
Okay. So as you're approaching the back of the house, you see it has simple stone steps that lead up. There's a well behind the house. There's a yellow awning over the door. The door is whitewashed, and the house is gray stone. He steps up, opens the door. There's a bit of a squeak. The inside door is already open, and light is pouring out. Just inside, he grabs a couple things on the counter. He looks a few times to make sure the two of you are still standing there. Quickly scribes a note. Roll a d20 again.
Good.
All right. As you are standing there, the dogs, the wiener dog went inside the house with him. Managed to get through the door while the door was open, and the other two dogs are like messing with each other. Like they sniffed each other's butt, and then they bumped each other's head, and they knocked the big dog. The little dog knocked the big dog down, and the big dog shook him off, and then...
Especially don't know each other.
or they have a rivalry type relationship. The big dog is probably clearly the alpha dog, but he was also outside on the grounds, apparently by himself. So, but anyway, the big dog mostly just seems to be tolerating the little dog at this point, and there's nothing serious in it. Kind of each other. Yeah. And so, then, as you're standing there, you feel something kind of like pat you on the side here, like under your cloak. Like there's something hits you softly.
Oh crap.
Okay, and you pull the cloak back right away and look, and you see the what would only be described as a baby dragon. So probably about 12 inches tall. It has a wingspan of 8 inches.
Is there anything actually in there? Yeah, I hear something.
The dinosaur.
It'll work for us. Okay. And
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab the cloth, grab him, put him back in the sack.
He jumped down on the ground already, and he's headed back toward the barn. If you don't want to miss any of the story, Low Moon Origins, Uprising, or Outsiders, like and follow our podcast. Please share it with friends.
Uh-oh.
Dan!
I'll run after him.
I throw a cloth at Dan, and I have the other cloth, and we're running.
So I need you both to roll for surprise to see if you freeze with this new change of circumstances.
6.
Okay. The big dog is surprised. The little dog, or the smaller dog, is not. Okay, neither of you are surprised? Okay. So the dragon is bouncing along the ground pretty fast. He certainly moves as fast as a running chicken. His wings are flapping, but they don't seem to be doing anything.
I'll run after the dragon.
Okay.
You get the dog.
I'm not getting the dog.
Right, so the small dog spies the dragon and gives chase as well. So you'll need to roll initiative. The small dog is rolling initiative. This is the surprise segment for the big dog. Okay.
I got 3.
You got 3 plus what?
1.
Total 4. Okay. All right. So is there any missile fire? You don't have any spells, do you? Do you want to use?
I could throw poison, stone drift, or predict weather, so no.
Sounds like you need some rest. That's what I think.
Yes, I do. But I can't. Now I'm chasing a dragon.
I've got to tackle that dog to the ground.
Dan, you get the dog. You're stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, he disagrees with it. Probably because I told him he's stronger.
I don't want the dog. Okay. We have to give it to the princess. So.
Yeah, don't let the dog kill the dragon. You get the dog.
Okay, so what results is a quick chase toward the barn. Are you attempting to restrain the dog?
Yep.
Without hurting him?
Yep.
Okay, so I need you to roll a grappling attempt. It's a percentile dice roll, as high as you can get, basically. That's what you need. And then we add...
Well, that's not as high as I can get.
Which roll?
65.
Oh, that's not bad, though. So at least it's in the higher part, if not in the highest. Okay, and then see, you're what level? Second level? How much do you weigh?
I weigh 95, I'm pretty sure.
That's fine.
That is not my character sheet. Where's mine?
I was just about to ask the farmer if he had some kind of extra small...
Oh, I didn't get it out.
Your small dog kennel or something like that that I could
95.
use for the dragon.
Okay, you weigh 95.
When the dragon
And what
comes
was
out.
your
1590.
1590.
Probably don't have to say the small number, but...
Dexterity.
54.
Okay. Alright,
I don't have small numbers after mine.
The dog bites me in front of you.
Just don't
25.
put things too badly. This farmer's our friend.
It bit me.
Use its name. Remember its name?
Did it say its name?
The farmer. What's the dog's name again?
Casey.
You can use its name and yell, like,
Casey.
It seemed to be scared of it,
Yeah.
so like, Casey,
Because it's
stop!
your idea, I'll make you roll wisdom to see whether or not you remember its name and can think of you.
No, I'm just tackling it.
Okay, so you're just going to try to fit the
Casey,
whole.
stop! But it might be scared of its name.
You can yell at me. I'm trying to get the dog to stop killing the dragon.
Alright. So your roll was what, 65?
Yeah.
That puts you in the... Alright, so yeah, you basically, just as he's about to get past you, you kind of drop on him and bear hug him. You have him around, you got one leg, and you have him around the belly. Now you do a little bit of damage, but it's mostly non-real, so it's not going to kill him.
Alright, you're going to stop it.
Alright,
Stop it.
and you're hugging, he's squirming and trying to get away from you. When you actually get a hold of him, you're only about 20 feet from the barn. The dragon makes it to the edge of the barn, and there's a hole that is about 2.5 feet off the ground, and he jumps off of a mound of hay and tries to go straight through the hole, but he misses and hits the wall just under the hole, and then slides to the ground, and he's slightly dazed. It would be time for you to potentially
I'm
snatch
going
him
to
up or
grab him, stuff him in the satchel, and hold the satchel closed. Like, hold it
So if
closed.
you're trying to grab him, you need to roll grappling, match percentile dice, you want to roll high.
I'm over here to wrestle the dog.
Yeah. So you currently have him in a bear hug.
36.
Okay. And you're just barehanded grabbing him?
He's got a claw.
No, cloth.
You're going to use the cloth. Okay. All right. So you lash out at him with the cloth over top of your hand and try to grab him, and he slips free from the silky cloth and is trying to run along the wall of the barn looking for a hole to try to get inside. Okay. Meanwhile, the dog is resisting your restraint or trying to.
Stop it, dog. Stop it. Whatever your name is, stop it.
Okay. Well, he doesn't do
This
great.
dragon is smart, though. To be able to jump off the hay, though, that's smart. An intelligent dragon.
It's
Not
separate.
smart enough to get through the hole, though.
It hit the wall.
Okay. And then, okay, so the dog squirms around and tries to get free.
No.
And he manages to, slam the inside of your lower leg and push you kind of off balance. And now you're still holding him, but you're basically laying on the ground holding him. Okay? Now you can squeeze him to do damage, or you can just continue to restrain him.
Stop it.
Okay. I mean, you'd have to, if you want to,
I'm gonna yell,
force him to
hey!
stop. If you want to force him to stop, you'd probably have to do damage. It would mostly non-real damage. But,
Squeeze.
he's going to keep trying.
Just go like this.
So you're just holding him, or you're trying to do damage?
I'm trying to just kind of squeezing him now to stop.
Just a bit of damage.
All right. So we're just going to say it's a random chance. So roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, you will do damage. Otherwise, there'll be no damage. All right. So you're holding him still, but no damage. And you just solidified your hold. He gets another chance to break free in a minute. Meanwhile, you're running along the barn. You're going to need to beat initiative 5 to try to grab him again before he makes it through a hole in the wall. So
Stop the dragon.
6 plus 1, get 5 or more. Okay, so you arrive at the hole, and the dragon his tail just disappears inside the barn.
Really?
Okay. Meanwhile, the farmer comes back outside, snatches up the torch. Both dogs come, and they come running after you, and basically he says, "What is going on?"
Dragon?
The dogs all try to answer at once, including the one that you're holding, and they're barking loudly and yelping and screaming.
Help! I'm gonna dodge, as fast as I can, past the farmer, past Dan, into there, and then I go, "We're supposed to bring a dragon egg and it hatched! It's in the barn!" As I run by. Just going in the barn.
Okay.
Help!
Alright, so she's running, so the next round you're running around to the entrance of the barn. Okay. There isn't an opening on this side at all, so you have to run around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
You did see a door in the back, or you saw wide barn doors in the front, as well as a door. Alright, so you run around the corner, and you're headed into the barn. Okay, so the farmer calls the dog off.
I like him.
Alright, and so the dog goes over to him, kind of skulks back over to him.
I did not try to hurt him. He was trying to kill our dragon.
Your dragon.
So.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, and so we don't really have to have initiative for the round. You arrive at the front door. The farmer spends the round tending to the dogs.
I am still sorry. Bye-bye.
You're doing what? You
I
say, "I'm so
apologize
sorry."
and run.
Okay, are you running to the door where she went?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or to
So
the closest door.
the farmer says, "Don't spook the horses." as you arrive at the door.
Okay.
It is a wooden door. It has a lattice frame on the top with onion paper, which lets some light in.
Why is that all he cares about? There's a tiny dragon running around his home.
It's hard to get them back under control if they're spooked. And for that matter, they're dangerous. They can kill people. So anyway, there is a handle. You turn the knob. It is not locked. You step in. There is a cloth hanging over the doorway on the inside. It's a heavy, like, burlap cloth that hangs from the top of the door all the way down to the floor. And you push it out of the way. Immediately upon pushing it out of the way, you see this is a big barn. There are animals, cows and horses in the barn. And there may be other animals as well, but you can see cows and horses for sure, and they're big. There is a road that runs right along this wall, and then the horses' stalls are right next to it. And you see a faint bluish light just around the corner at the end of the row. So you're pretty sure he followed the trail.
At least he grows.
So you're running that way, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. So you run that way. You arrive at the doorway. Looking down that hallway, you see her just about to turn a corner. It's basically just a row between the horse stalls and the wall. And there's tools on the wall. Okay?
Is there, like...
Now, both of you are not... now you're going on to infravision because it's not lit in the barn.
Is there any... looking at the tool thing, is there any, like, I don't know if I know how to use it, but like a, what is it called, lasso or any more rope?
No. There's no rope on there, but there's a scythe, an axe, hammers, stuff like that. They look like barn tools, basically.
Okay, so nothing.
Okay. And they don't look new. They look like they've seen a lot of use. Okay. All right.
Dirt bucket.
So you round the corner, you charge down toward her, I assume. All right, so the corner goes past the horse stalls and out into a center area of the barn, and you can see a big metal plow parked there, a wagon, a cart, more bales of hay, that kind of thing. Okay. Now you are on infravision, but you can still use your normal vision some, and you can see the contrast of his faint glow versus the light, and you can see that he is across the barn, across that open area, and kind of in a back corner, which looks like a tools and storage area. It's not animals. Directly across the other side, you can see pigs. 337. You can see pigs, and they're laying around, but they're alert. They've heard the noise and they're looking in your general direction, but they don't get up. And then,
pigs?
Yep. And then on the second layer, so it does have a balcony, and on the second layer on the opposite side, you can see bales of hay, and then there's what looks to be like a long, thin chicken standing on the top of the hay, and he makes a little warbling noise, and he's looking in your general direction. Okay?
A chicken?
That's my chicken.
Yep. It's probably a rooster. Okay? And then you can see the faint glow in the corner, so I assume you head that way. Okay, and you have to kind of dodge behind the plow and duck under the handles, and then there's harness stuff hanging on the wall, and then there's basically the corner comes kitty corner, and it's open about 4 feet. You go back, and there's a storage area with a bunch of stuff in it, and the glow is there. Meanwhile, you have arrived at the area behind her, crossed behind the plow, and as you are surveying the room to figure out where he went exactly, you hear Dan's footsteps behind you, and it's kind of the rattle of his chainmail.
Actually, it's Bandit.
Yeah, but it's got chain perks.
Oh, yeah.
And Bandit doesn't make a lot of noise by itself. It doesn't, slap against itself or anything. Because it's banded together. But the chain links do make noise. Okay? Anyway, so the two of you look in the room, and you see a very faint glow. Time to play a game. Are you ready? Pausing.
What?
We went in a dark room. We used 7 glow-in-the-dark stones, and they found them all in about 1 minute and 20 seconds to symbolize rooting around and searching out the dragon in the storage area of the barn. They have successfully retrieved the baby dragon. Okay. So you managed to clutch up the dragon. Basically, the two of you kind of corner him and use the cloth and get him. As soon as you have him up in your hands, he scrambles down your shirt. You think he's getting away again, but actually he goes back in the bag.
I close the bag and hold it shut.
Okay.
Like, I'm holding it shut,
So he's squirming around in there a little bit, but he's currently staying in the bag.
Yeah, let's ask the farmer if he has a small, like, dog cage or whatever.
The cracks.
Not if it's tiny. He's got a wingspan of 8 inches. If it's smaller than that, he can't fit.
Okay. All right, so you take the dragging bag outside, you talk to the farmer. The farmer has a sort of a scowl on his face when the two of you arrive back out of his barn at 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I assume one of you is going to step up and do the talking. Probably Selena, because she has the high charisma.
We're very sorry. We were supposed to return this egg, and apparently it was due to hatch at any time.
Okay, roll percentile dice. See how he's responding to your pleas.
28.
Okay. He says, have you managed to capture the beast?
Yes, we have. And I look down at my satchel that I'm holding.
It's dark in there.
Yes, it is. It's the middle of the night.
We were wondering if we'll pay for it, if you would like, if you would have a small, possible dog cage you don't use or whatever, that we could use for it so it does not escape the satchel again.
Is baby dragon just hatched?
Yeah.
Well, I have a bird cage that will probably work for just Chesapeake. I'll happily sell it to you for 2 gold. And the little bit that I know, if it's just hatched, you're going to have to feed it, like, immediately.
That's probably what I was looking for, was food.
Selena pulls out her pouch and begins to check and see if she has gold pieces or not. Gold pieces or not.
The 8 gold pieces.
1.
So how much does it take in each gold 10?
10 or 20 silver pieces. I think it's like an electrum piece, 2 electrum pieces, 20 silver pieces. So you'd have to come up with 20 silver pieces between the 2 of you.
I have 8 silver pieces.
Okay, I don't got mine.
How many do you have?
Mine?
That's fine, I'll take it.
Okay. Give it to him.
Okay, I
Do you want to chase this down all night?
No, but...
Alright, so he gives you a cage. He suggests that you put the satchel, without taking the egg out of the cage, just put the whole satchel and egg inside the cage.
Okay.
That way you don't risk the thing escaping, and also it still has its egg, which will probably make it feel a little more comfortable. Also, for your generous purchase of his bird cage, which probably isn't worth 2 gold, but it is in this case. But anyway, he will give you some scraps of meat that you can feed the beast. Interested in giving financially to Low Moon and support the campaign? Text LMGIVE, that's LMGIVE, to 419-419-0095.
Thank you so much.
I do not know for sure what kind of meat to feed a dragon, but I'm certain it is meat. I do have some lamb cuts, which is a very fine cut of meat and doesn't have a lot of fat on it. No, that's what I would recommend. And you're going to want to keep the pieces very small in case he doesn't know how to swallow yet. And I do suggest you get it to the princess or wherever you're actually taking it as quickly as possible.
Oh, we're not far now. About 20 minutes.
Yes, the retreat is near.
I'm gonna throw the one dog that I trampled on and see if it's okay.
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Fine?
No, it doesn't look for
I'm gonna try to pet him.
He's going to bark at you.
No.
No, he doesn't like you. You tackled him.
It's true. That's not bad.
He has a short memory, but not that short. Okay.
Forgets it 2 seconds later.
Alright, he does not offer any form of transportation or whatever like that, and as you said, you're not that far away now. So you leave the farm, I'll take that for now. You leave the farm with the little critter and its egg
You got it.
in the bag,
That thing does not want to go in the egg.
It's not actually in the egg in the bag, so. Alright. It does faintly glow blue the whole time, and it does have a sort of metallic blue and purple tint to it. So, first guess is it might be a blue dragon, but the purplishness is weird. Maybe they'll take that when they're born, or whatever, it's hard to say. Okay? After you put it in the cage, careful, it does push the pouch open, and you get a look at the egg, and you realize that there was some, like, pulpy stuff inside the egg, and it ate that after it got back in the bag. In fact, it's finishing up when you see it. It's finishing up even the pulpy stuff that was inside the egg. And then it devours the lamb meat very quickly. It gives you about, like, half a pound, so it's not like a small amount of meat.
We just tear a teeny tiny
piece of meat. He cut it up very fine for you before he gave it to you. Used a cleaver. And then you give him a little bit, and then it's like, the tiny pieces, he can swallow them pretty much whole. Like, he eats a lot like a snake. He just goes, boom, 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 and it's gone. Okay? And then the cage is made of, like, a wicker, or like, thin bamboo, basically, woven to be wicker. And so around the base of the cage, there is no opening bigger than, like, 1/8 of an inch for the first, like, 10 inches. And then the top is another 10 inches of the kind of wire that goes up and over, but it's actually bamboo. It's not wire, it's wood or dried reed, basically. And the biggest hole there is probably like 1.5 inches by 1 inch, something like that. And so it's pretty unlikely for the cage to get out unless you could somehow damage it.
Which will be watching.
Yeah, right. And he doesn't seem like he's trying at the moment to get out. He's eating the meat. So for over half the remaining time, as you move as quickly as you can, for over half the remaining time, the keep is in sight. You can see the walls, see the people on the walls, light, that kind of thing. You notice some overnight guards are posted. And actually you see some workers in the fields right around the retreat that are working at night. They're tending the fields. Not sure what they're up to, but they're not on the side that you're coming in on. They're on the back, right? So anyway, as you approach, and there are probably, 3 to 4 minutes is all that's left between you and get to the gate, you hear a low moaning, like, coming from the cage. And you look at it, and you see the dragon's kind of laid over on his back against the satchel, and his belly is bulging a little bit, and it looks like he's got an upset tummy.
Oh, so bloody. Did he eat too much?
Yeah, so you like pick up and look in there, and doesn't look real good. And he goes, and a tiny, about 8-inch long bolt of lightning comes out, and you need to save it versus spell or be struck by a breath weapon. It's actually a save versus breath weapon, sorry. And it'd be Selena.
I do it. Okay.
What would you play? Save versus breath weapon?
He spit lightning at me, so that's why he had an upset tummy.
I'm the one with pressure from lightning.
Wait, don't blue dragons,
I'll stick my hand in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, so he is a blue dragon.
I'll stick my hand in the way. I got protection from lightning.
9. I hope I needed low.
So she is failing her save. I will let you make a save versus spell with a -4 to stick your hand in the way if you want. He's going to try to save
Of these?
No,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
High number.
I've already had my hair burnt off the book.
14.
I'm gonna be terrified of this dragon now.
Dex bonus? No.
You know why?
No.
No dex bonus. Okay, what's your save versus spell? I can do that. Yes, you did. Okay, so he tries to put his hand in the way and to stop the lightning, but fails, and you take 2 points of damage. And it also messes up your haircut, which had just about gotten normal again since that whole horrible experience with that. So you got some scorched part on your hair, and your ear, and the left side of your face has a little burn on it. And then he pops up after he burps, and the lightning flies out of his face. He pops up, and he looks like he's surprised at what he did. He looks to the left, he looks to the right.
Let me hold the dragon.
He looks at you, and then he looks sad. And then he crawls back in the saddle.
Let me hold
It's
the
okay,
dragon.
buddy.
Let me hold the dragon.
Yeah, I got it.
I
I got it.
Okay.
I think he's sad. I don't want him to think I'm afraid of him.
He hides in the satchel for the remainder of the time back to the keep. So you're arriving back at the keep between 2 and 3 in the morning.
The dragon's going so bad. Oh my god.
And, I mean, you get a message passed to the princess, I think was your target?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And basically you wind up sitting in the waiting room, and you tend the dragon, and your falconer supervisor also comes. They got him out of bed. In fact, when he comes walking in the room, he's fully dressed, but he's still wearing his nightcap, which is like a white, pale cloth Santa cap, basically. And then just as he walks in the room, he realizes he's still wearing it, and he snatches it off his head and stuffs it inside his pocket. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm here to help care for the baby dragon."
Yeah.
So we were supposed to bring the egg to the princess, but now we're bringing a live dragon.
Okay.
You have meat, and apparently it's a baby blue dragon. I point to the scar on my ear.
Yeah. Baby dragons can be very dangerous. Let's see what we have. I'm no expert in baby dragons. Falcons more.
Ever since he...
Hold it in the claw.
No, you can't, because I'm holding the thing.
I mean, you have to get it to come out the door of the cage, and it's currently in the satchel.
Here,
Don't do that. No, it's not. Don't take it out.
He says, "Oh, no, don't take it out of the cage. It's fine in the cage for now. You just need to make sure it stays healthy. Does it need to eat? Has it had water?"
No.
It's eaten, but it has not had water.
You fed it, but didn't give it water?
Well, we were in a
It'll probably get indigestion.
He's in a hurry.
What's that?
I would be surprised if it didn't belch or something.
It's shattered with lightning.
That was probably it. Let's get it some water. Alright. So
He looked very sad after he did it, so he's hiding in the satchel now.
he says, "Go to the kitchen, bring a water skin."
I'll go to the...
You go to the kitchen.
After
Small
doing
chance
it,
that you are absconded for a task, but no one stops you in the middle of the night to make you do something, so that's good. You get a water skin, you bring it back. It sips the water once it's given. You wind up, the two of you and the falconer wind up taking care of the baby falcon for about 2 hours in the middle of the baby dragon for about 2 hours in the middle of the night, waiting for the princess to finally respond. And ultimately, she does respond. She comes out and she's dressed in a fine blue evening gown, and her hair looks perfect, and her makeup looks perfect, and everything is like, so she doesn't look like she was sleeping at all. She looks well made up. And
probably like it for 2 hours.
Yeah. And she kind of strolls forward pretty quickly and leans down to see the baby dragon, and she says, "Incredible, he is so cute."
Don't get your face too close.
Yeah, she got shot with
She
lightning.
leans back.
Blue dragon.
I can handle it.
You can breathe lightning already?
Yeah. We gave him water. That's why.
Oh.
We fed him and gave him water.
Yeah, so he got gas or something? So he ate and didn't have water?
We just gave him water now, so yes.
He did a couple times over the last 2 hours, and you actually fed him again since then, too. He looks about to be about 2% larger than when he came out of the egg already. He says, "Very well," and she motions from behind and see one of her ladies in waiting, a beautiful young lady in a red, sleeping dress, and she strolls out, and the princess says, "Take the cage to my chambers."
Don't let it out.
He will run.
She just looks wild-eyed and says, "No. Princess says, "We'll take it from here. I will reward you both for your service. I am very grateful for you bringing this gift to me. And I'll be most interested to hear the story of how you came into possession of it." Don't forget you have the note from the farmer, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much. Perhaps we will
He
need
gave us the cage and the meat.
Good farmer.
perhaps we will need to send him a return message on the morrow, but I think both of you need a good night's sleep now. It's been a long time you've been out.
All night.
I'm not sure how that came about, but I'm glad to see that you're not too much the worse for wear. You smell a little bit like that dog.
I can't feel the dog.
He tried to take the dragon when he escaped in the bomb, where the farmer helped us.
I'll hear the story on the morrow. Thank you very, very much.
We do have one other request. That
Stop about halfway back to the door.
it also, the person who got it from said it can be very dangerous if it gets in the wrong hands, and that it might have powers of like some sort of like mind control. So if you want to touch it, you might want to use a claw.
That's good to know. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
We will definitely take that advice into account. Look at the Master of Falconer. Thank you very much for coming out in the middle of the night. Serve with a pleasure, Princess. She steps backwards and pulls the door shut behind her. She says, thank you both again. I'll see you tomorrow around lunchtime.
You're going to sleep now. I'll wake up early again.
Right, and we will end at that point. No cliffhanger today.
Yay!
You like no cliffhangers?
Yes!
Stay tuned for more Lomunian adventures.